Hello, I'm so excited you're here and willing to spend some of your day with me. Um, so let's just get right into it. So, Beyond Survival, a gentle path for moms raising autistic and epileptic children. So, you may be wondering, if you don't know me already, who am I? My name is Ashley, and I am the founder of Inchstones to Milestones by Ashley. What do I do? I have printables that I create on and put on Teachers Pay Teachers. I have a podcast to help special needs parents, therapists, and special ed teachers. And then I have memberships and courses. So, credentials. Um, the majority of what I have to share with people comes from my life experience as a mom with two autistic children. So I have a level 1 autistic child, and then I have a level 2 autistic child who had severe catastrophic epilepsy and ended up having brain surgery to remove nearly half of the right side of his brain. So we've been through all the medical things, the frontline, second line medications, the ketogenic diet, and landed there. And so my son lives with left-sided weakness, autism diagnosis, and then the past epilepsy situation. And then I've also dealt with numerous special education learning disabilities. So that's where most of it comes from. And all of that led me to go and get my bachelor's in applied behavior analysis. So I also have a psychology / special ed credential there. So let's move on. So the first thing I want to share with you is that your story matters. We often think about just our kids' experiences and like what kind of childhood are they going to have, and we don't really ask about how we feel in our mothering and as a person as a whole. Here's a little bit of my kids helping me with the garden. So I want to tell you this quick story. So we're working in this garden. We're creating this dream garden to share with our family, friends, just to enjoy a space at home. If you have autistic kids, like there are some spaces that aren't the best to go to, and we happen to have a fenced-in yard, so it's just so nice to have that fenced-in yard. And I wanted to create a beautiful garden where you can walk through it, and then there's this wonderful seating area. Invite other moms of young children, moms of special needs children to come over and have a space. So anyways, I'm digging this up right by hand because we don't have a tiller, and I'm just sweating, like just drenched sweating. And then suddenly realize, oh my goodness, my kids are running around expelling all their energy, fighting, bickering, climbing on each other, right? And so I just like, hey guys, it's time to come help mom. And we're gonna get 4 wheelbarrows full, and then if you want to, you can spend more time playing in the water out here. And they help so much, and we got it done so fast. And I just thought, wow, like, isn't that like life, that we just trudge along and we're just like, oh, I guess this is just the way it is. Well, it's not. So I want to talk about the real problem, okay? So you may be in burnout and you're not failing. It's a sign that it's time to change something. So we have surviving, and here's some examples. You're just getting through the day. You're feeling guilty for needing help. You're overwhelmed and reactive to your children. You're exhausted from making those decisions all the time, making tiny little decisions or big decisions, right? And it's overwhelming you in your head. And then maybe you say yes to everything because you just want your kids to have these experiences and you would want to have the experiences. Or you say, no, everything is too much. Everything is too much. In many seasons of my life with my special needs children, I floundered back and forth from these two. And then maybe you're feeling resentful and burnout. Maybe you're resenting your spouse for the unfair labor and load that you hold for your special needs child. Maybe you're resentful of the fact that nobody ever helps Maybe you don't have a support system. Maybe you're just flat out burnout. It's no one's fault. I'm just exhausted and I'm have to live like this forever. And you may deal with, fear of judgment, fear of failing, fear of your child's future. And so then let's contrast that with thriving. What would that look like if you could thrive? So creating rhythms that work for your family, not for someone else's. Knowing support is strength. Asking for help is not weakness, and it's actually super beneficial and could be amazing. Being calm, being able to calm your nervous system when your child is having a big, huge outburst. And then your go-to routines, your systems, your ways of doing things in the home. Like every night we prepare the visual schedule, and then every morning my child with autism knows exactly what to expect. And then clear boundaries. So you're not making your decisions on a whim. You already know what your goals are in life and what you're striving for. And then intentional rest, believing that rest is actually one of the most productive things you can do and the best thing that you can do for yourself. And then lastly, getting to having a great sense of purpose. So all I've seen throughout my life has been that the lack of purpose often leads to this great sense of depression. And when my son was diagnosed with epilepsy, it created this huge amount of purpose for me, right? But it also created this huge burden. So dealing with, he was not a burden, but the epilepsy was, the barrier and burden in our life. So really being able to take this and say, I have purpose, and also, what would I like to do with my life? Is there something that is making me feel held back? And then I want to talk about the common struggles and the common pitfalls that special needs parents go through. So I've done all of these. So laying in bed late at night, just scrolling to numb away the pain. I've done that so many times. Like, went back when my son was seizing and was biting his siblings and crying and waking me up at 5 a.m. just because he was having seizures, but we didn't see him, right? And hitting the floor in a cluster every morning. And that's how all the mornings started. I would crawl into bed at night and I would stare at the wall. And I might cry, but oftentimes I didn't even have anything left in me to cry. I was just like, wow, this is really the way it is. And I just play through the day and go, wow, this is a lot. Like it was a shock to have to live that life. And then also I want to say, similar to autism meltdowns that are these extremes and very difficult to deal with. So then crying about how unfair life is. Sometimes we have pity parties for ourselves. Sometimes a little bit of realizing, like, yeah, this is hard, and crying is totally good. But when we're just stuck in it, and then we become jealous and resentful of our friends who are just talking about the wonderful shoe sale down the road, we can't even fathom what it would be like to be thinking about simple things like a shoe sale. Like we're dealing with a child with a life and death condition. We're dealing with a child who might run away from our home and we have to lock everything down. And then lastly, my personal favorite, becoming obsessed with your child. So we all love our children, and I love my son, but everything was about him. Absolutely everything was about him. And at the same time, there was a period of time where it really felt like that's how it needed to be, to make sure that he got the care that he needed, especially in those bad seizure days. But staying there and having your child be everything about your identity is not going to help you in life, and you're going to put too much weight on yourself to make everything perfect. So how do we shift this? So the shift begins with grace for yourself, grace for your family, grace for your child. you can't just hustle your way through. You actually have to heal your nervous system. You actually have to heal what you are dealing with. And if you've been through some stuff, that includes you. If you've been through some rough interactions where your child was melting down in a grocery store, maybe before they were diagnosed, or perhaps you've been in medical rooms and had to have surgeries, your child's had to have surgeries. Maybe your child is throwing things at the doctor's office and someone gets hurt. Like, it all goes into us and we keep it, like the body keeps score, right? That's what they say. So then, so now we're going to talk about the Thrive framework. So first, T, we're going to tend to the soil. We're going to tend to where you are. We're going to pay attention to what our soil looks like. 2, heal the roots. 3, connect with purpose. 4, implement support systems. 5, visualize the win. 6, expand and thrive. So I'm going to give you a little bit that you can take away from today. So we're going to tend to the soil. So we're going to see where you are starting. Are you in survival mode? Is your soil dried out? Is your soil moist and doing well? So we're going to reflect on that. And then step 2, we're going to heal the roots. We're going to get rid of our shame, the lies that we believe about ourselves, and the real understanding that most of our problems are actually grief. So then step 3, we're going to reconnect with purpose. So you are more than a caregiver, and there is a purpose for you in life. Maybe one of the huge parts of that is the purpose that you have taking care of your child, but it's also possible that there are other things in your life that would bring you joy, that would help you be a more rounded person, that would really light you up. So then we're going to go to step 4, implement systems. We're going to create routines that actually make this possible for you. We're going to create some rhythms that just become a way of life, and we're going to do that together. So step 5, we're going to visualize the wins. We're going to celebrate the little Inchstones, the little milestones. We're going to track that joy. We're going to see what lights me up. What was good for me? Like, let's put that into a regular routine here. And our purpose, going to know that thriving is not perfection. So we're going to have purpose and we're going to have peace. We're not going to hustle every single moment of the day to try to create this dream life that doesn't work with us. We're going to take our time and we're going to assess, and then we're going to come back to it and reassess together. And then what you've been missing, you really don't need more pressure. You need a new plan and support. So when our children go to therapy, right, their therapists bring back, they give us suggestions. And I remember a time when we would just get so many suggestions that just take in all the information, take it in. And then I would feel like I was always failing because it was too much for me to do. And I remember that one very wise woman, our BCBA that was in our home, behavior analyst, she drew a circle for me, and she drew a tiny little circle inside. And she's like, we're like a pot, and she's like, this is how much we know of your life, and this is all the rest of it. So you take our information and you put it in this little part of your life. And that just helped me, that visualization just helped me that, like, I was doing okay. And that I just needed a new plan that focused a little bit more on myself, not to be selfish, but to become the best version of myself, to care for the other people in my life, and to really rekindle a sense of purpose that, like, aligned with who I was, not who I was 10 years ago. So what I've created for you is ITM membership, so Inchstones to Milestones membership. And in it, we have a Facebook group for people to share on a regular basis. We have our monthly Zoom or Google Meet, where we will have support. Sometimes we'll have lessons, and then also we'll have a challenge each month. So together in a group with other special needs moms of epileptic and autistic children, we will have challenges, and we will work together to individualize them. And you're going to go off and you're going to do your challenge for the month, and you're going to come back, and people who did their challenge, we're going to put their name in a hat, and they're going to win either a customized resource for me that I'm going to create for your child or your family or you, or some other type of incentive gift for you guys. So, and then we will also be bringing people in to speak, looking for people to come and talk to you guys about things like IEPs, things like special education law, or things for you, just purely for you. So the whole goal here is to help you have what you need as a special needs parent to thrive. And then you also get access to my printables. All of the resources that I have made will be in a drive for you to access and print as many as you want for yourself and your child. You cannot share these with anyone. They are for you. And then you will have access to the course I'm creating, which is going to go through the similar framework with the garden as theme. And you have access to that through this. So you do not have to buy it separately. It will be your access as long as you are a member. So what does all of this cost? So only $15 a month, or you can pay annually or yearly and you get 30% off. It's $126. And then the bonus offers, every person that joins this July, everyone that joins this July launch will receive a customized visual schedule for your child. So that means you're going to give me your child's name. I'm going to put it on the top. You're going to tell me all of the activities that you regularly go to or semi-regularly go to that you would like me to create a visual for, right? And I will be creating it. I will laminate it for you. I will put Velcro dots on it for you, and I will ship it to your home. So this is a super special offer because this is a brand new membership, and this is, sort of founding members launch. So if you are interested in that, get on it now, because the same offer will not be available the next launch. Thanks so much for being with me today. And if you're interested, there's a button on either this page or the next page, and you can get into the membership. If you can't, DM me at Inchstones to Milestones by Ashley on Instagram, or you can always send me an email, Ashley at Inchstones to Milestones by Ashley.com.